Hi, ES Hart here, the author with a pen name back for another video. In this video we will be discussing should you write to the market and what is popular. The answer to this question is it depends on you as a writer. There are many writers who make money this way, although the hard part to this is you have to be flexible on the subject you might have to write about. Writing to the market is hard because when you have to write about something you aren't passionate about, completing such a book almost becomes an impossible task. There was a time a while back when vampire stories were highly the in thing. Today they still somewhat are, but they have to compete with shapeshifter, bad boys, billionaire, cowboy, athlete drama stories. So should you write to the market? Like I said, it depends on you as a writer and whether you can complete such a story. As a writer, I think what you should really look at is whether the genre you are writing in is popular. But even if the genre you are writing in isn't popular, you have to decide whether or not there is enough of a reading audience for your book. This here lies the problem for most self-published authors. This is something most traditionally published authors don't have to worry about because most literary agents know what most publishers are looking for. If you query an agent something that they know a publisher will not buy because of the particular genre that they know doesn't have a strong readership, you will probably get a rejection letter. It won't be because your story was bad, it will be more because of the market and how they perceive your potential audience of readers to be. So are literary agents and publishers always right about the market? My answer to this is no. The reason I say this is because I have heard many self-published authors say they tried to get their book traditionally published but failed to do so, only to later self-publish it and have tremendous success. So writing to the market is a personal thing. Personally, my partner and I have always loved writing in the adult contemporary romance genre, and luckily there is a large audience of readers in this genre. Now I'm going to tell you about the fourth book we self-published. This was a book that was published first with the title, The Ugly Side of Paradise. It was later republished in 2020 under a new title because we discovered that a book's title is almost just as important as having a good book cover. In this case, this turned out to be true because this book sold copies without us even trying to sell it. This book wasn't something we would have ever contemplated writing because it fell somewhere in the middle of a romance erotica book. This was a book that one of us felt driven to write. You see, I had a dream, and in the dream I was on an elevator where smoke was overtaking me. The doors opened and an older gentleman stood there and said, "You belong to me." I remember my alarm clock going off and waking up. I don't know what it was about that little piece of dream, but throughout the day I kept getting ideas for a book from it. The more ideas I got, the more hesitant I became about writing such a book, but in the end, I told my partner about this book. They were also taken back by the story idea. Anyways, we threw caution to the wind and wrote the book. It was strange because I felt this book wrote itself in a way that no other book we had ever written had. In fact, I oftentimes tell my partner that someone else wrote this book. They just used me as their conduit as my fingers flew across the keyboard. There were many times as I wrote this book I would stop and ask myself where this story was coming from. It was as if someone had control over my typing fingers. Of course, now looking back on it, I guess the story turned out okay, but I don't think I see ES Hart writing this type of book ever again. But then, never say never because you never know where writing a book will take you. Here is the blurb for this book. How would she ever get out of this nightmare? A trip to paradise suddenly takes a wrong turn when school teacher, Leanna Delgado, is kidnapped. Will she escape with her life, or will they subject her to living out the rest of her life with having to please the highest bidder? The adult contemporary romance, which takes you on a journey of betrayal and the ultimate survival. I hope you enjoyed this presentation about the fourth book we published. If you would like to know more about this book, please see the link below in the description and also check out our website link below as well. This is ES Hart, the author with a pen name, saying, until next time, keep writing and dreaming, because the reality of your story becoming a book is in your hands.